Welcome back. So this is part 3 where we're talking about network switch, where we stopped earlier. So now let me come in here. Let me seek your indulgence. So now let's say this is your laptop. This is your laptop. This is my laptop. If we are to connect these two laptops together, we will need a cable, right? Agreed. So you bring a cable, you plug it to this system. Take the cable, plug it to this system, right? Agreed. Or maybe wireless. Maybe there is no cable this time around. Wireless. We can't see cable. That's how to connect, right? Two systems. You agree with me? So now, let's say we have 5 systems, for instance. 5. And we want to establish communication between these 5 systems. What will happen? Because all what we know is to draw cable. You can't achieve this with just cable. It's not possible. That is where a device, a component called switch comes in. Okay? That's the solution that a switch provides. So think of a switch as an extension box that everybody is connecting to for them to be able to establish communication. So now, I bring in a switch. This is a switch. So now, for me to connect all these 5 systems now, all what I will do is to take my cable, plug it to this system, then plug it to a port on my switch. Plug another cable here, plug it to the switch, plug another cable, plug it to the switch, because a switch has multiple ports. It has different ports. It has different ports. So now, if I do this now, all these systems here can now start communicating. Okay? So now, I want you to think of a switch as an extension. As an extension. See the picture here. See a picture of a switch here. It has different ports. This is port. Okay? This is 444488. This is 24 ports. This is 24 port switch. It has 24 ports. It means you can connect 24 systems together using this switch. That's the meaning. You can plug a printer here, plug another system here, plug another system here using cable. Okay, using your transmission media, your cable. Okay, so think of a switch as a networking device that helps in connecting multiple devices for the purpose of exchanging data and information. Okay, it forwards data. The purpose of a switch is to forward data to every connected devices, So that is a switch. So now you should now be thinking from this angle that in an office now, in a single building now, that means to connect everybody together, all what we need is a switch. Everybody here, let's say this is an office. Everybody you are seeing here, they are connected on a switch. Like the example that I talked about earlier, having single printer in an office for everybody to print. What they make use of, what you will make use of is a switch. So now, let's say this is a switch. Okay, you have a system, cashier, everybody, secretary, system connected to this switch. Meaning everybody can now have access to a printer. Since they are on the same network. So this is a network now. This is a network. We just use a switch to establish a network, a LAN. This is a LAN. This is a local area network. So a switch is that device that you use in establishing a LAN. Okay? That's another definition. You use a switch to establish a LAN. You need it to establish a LAN. If it is just two systems, if we are dealing with just two systems, we don't need a switch. Agreed. Just two systems like this, just two laptops. Just plug your cable. That's all. That is a LAN too. But just two devices. This is just a two-device LAN. Two-device LAN. But let's say you need like 50 devices, 1,000 devices, 100 devices. You will need a switch. Okay, so that's a network switch. That's a network switch. That's a network switch. So now, another networking device we'll be talking about, another component we'll be talking about is router. A router. A router is different from a switch. Okay, a router is different from a switch. A router is used in connecting two different networks together, two separate networks. So now, for instance, let's go back to our drawing board. Let's go back to our drawing board. Let's say we have a switch here. All the systems here are connected. All the systems here are connected. All the systems here are connected. This is a LAN. Agreed, right? This is a LAN. You have another LAN. You have another LAN. Whereby all these systems are connected. All these systems are connected. All these systems are connected. Okay? These are systems. PC, 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 PC. Now, this is LAN A. This is another LAN. LAN B. Let's call this LAN B. Let's call it LAN B. So now, for LAN A and LAN B to communicate, normally LAN A and LAN B will never communicate. If you bring a switch here, thinking that you can plug a switch to switch, that this PC here and this PC, they will not communicate because they are on different LAN now. On different LAN. So now, for two different LAN to communicate, that is where you need a device called router. Okay, so let's say this is a department in an office. This is HR department. This is a accounting department. For instance, and there is this particular information that you want everybody to be having access to. Okay, maybe there is a document that MD wanted to pass across to every department. The MD wanted to pass a document to everybody in every department. So an MD is in his office on another switch, is on another LAN. Okay, this is the MD system, the boss. Is on another switch. So now, to this switch, a server is connected. Let me draw this thing very well. So that you can understand. This is the MD, this is the boss. He has a piece of information to pass across to every staff in the department, every staff in the company. See everybody here in the company. Everybody is in the company now. Company. This is a company. A company now. This is a company. So MD wanted to pass a particular piece of information to everybody in every department, So now, all what MD will do, okay, and we have this server here. This server too is also connected to a switch. Okay, meaning this PC here can talk to this server, this PC here too can talk to this server, this PC here too can talk to this server, MD2 can talk to this server. Okay, everybody here too can talk to this server because we have a router now. We are dealing with router because we have a router. Router allow communication between separate LAN, different LAN. Okay, different LAN. So we have a router now. So now, all what MD will do is to push that document onto this server so that people in this department can also be able to access information on this server because we are having a router now. So a router will allow communication to pass to another LAN because MD is another LAN, is on another LAN, is on LAN B. So a router will now allow communication from LAN A, Department 1, to Department B, to Department 2. So that people here can have access to any information that is passed across in this particular department. So this is real life application of a router to allow communication between two different LAN. Okay, a LAN can be a department, it can be a section in a company. So that is the purpose of a router. That is the purpose of a router. So this is the example that I'm trying to do here. Like this is a LAN, this is a LAN. So to allow communication between two different LAN, we need a router. We need a router, a device called router. So this is a picture of a router. This is how it looks like. It has its own ports. Although the ports of a router is usually not as many as that of a switch. Okay, a router normally has a few ports, while a switch normally has so many ports, because the purpose of a router is just to establish communication between certain different LANs. So there is no point of having so many number of ports. But a switch used to have a very large number of ports. We have switch of 48 ports, 24 ports. Okay, so that is a router. Okay, so that's a router. I'm still trying to, what I just explained is what you can still find here. This is a building, this is a building, this is another building. This is a building A, building B. You want communication to happen between two different buildings, two different LAN. So you bring a router to allow that to happen. Okay, so that is the router. So now, other network components that you can come across on the feed that you're supposed to know as a network professional, we have hub. Hub is similar to switch, but is of old fashion. It's not to be used in a modern network. It's not to be used in a modern network because it doesn't have that capability that a switch has to handle traffic, to forward traffic. A hub doesn't have such capability. So a switch is more sophisticated, more gigantic, and more efficient. That's the word, more efficient than a hub. We have patch panel. Let me explain this patch panel for you. Before I explain the patch panel, I will be linking these faceplate. They call this faceplate. Just think of this faceplate as the socket, wall socket, where you normally plug your appliances in the house. So wall socket where you normally plug your network cable is this faceplate, and this is the plug. This is the head plug. They call it RJ45 connectors. Okay, this is the plug that you plug to the wall or that you plug to the system. Okay, this is the head. I think I have one here. See it. This is a plug. This is an RJ45 plug. Okay, RJ45 plug. Your system will have a port where you can plug this to, where you can plug it. Okay, so you plug it to the wall, and you plug the other end to your system, so that communication can take place. So this patch panel, let me quickly explain it. How this patch panel and wall and these faceplates are related. Okay, so let's say this is an office. Or let's say this is a company now. This is an office. Okay, this is an office. So now, this is a room. This is an office for Mr. A. This is Mr. B's office. This is their room. Okay, and everybody has their workstation. They has their workstation. So these are the workstation. Can be a laptop, can be a desktop. Okay, so now you want to make sure that this workstation and this workstation and this workstation and this workstation, they are on the same network. These are things that happens behind the scene. You cannot see this. You cannot see it. It is only with the engineers, with the network admin in the company that knows what is happening behind. Mr. A, he just sit down typing, having access to internet. He doesn't know what is happening behind the scene. So now, this workstation in this office, we plug a cable to the system and plug it to the wall using its cable. This is a wall, this is a socket, this is the wall, this is the socket. So this is what I refer to as, this is what is called a faceplate. This wall, okay, it will be tied to the wall, just like your socket in the house. So now, Mr. A, this workstation here, we plug a system to the wall. Okay, this person too will plug the system to the wall using the cable. You won't see it. They call something cable management. All these cables are being managed, whereby you won't be seeing them flying around, because anybody can use his leg to break it, or to, anything can happen. So they call something cable management. That's another career entirely. Managing cable in an office, whereby you won't see cable around. You will just see that cashier is working on a system. That system is plugged to a wall. This is what we do as a network engineer. This is our work. Okay, so now this system is plugged to a wall. Sometimes you will see this wall in the bank, all these banks, you will see all these things that I'm talking about. So behind this socket, this faceplate, a cable is drawn through the ceiling, through the wall, just enemies, just like your house wiring. All these cables are being drawn at the back of the wall. Okay, to another location. To another location. Okay, this location is where people call data center. We call it data center or server room. People you normally call it server room, server room, server room. But in the networking world, in the tech world, we call it data center. We call it data center. So this is where everybody will meet. This is where everybody will meet. So all these cables that are coming, all these cables that are coming behind these faceplates, behind these sockets, all the cables that are coming, they are coming to behind this patch panel. This patch panel to the back of this patch panel, to the back of this patch panel. Okay? So they are being terminated at the back of the patch panel. At the back of the patch panel. So it is from the patch panel. It is from the patch panel now that you can now plug another network cable. From here, let's say this particular place leads to this socket, and you plug your system to this socket, to this particular socket. Okay, you plug it, it ends here. We, the engineer, now plug a cable here. You know, it's still linking. We can now plug it to the switch. You cannot plug it to the switch, You cannot plug it to the switch. You cannot plug it to the switch. So we repeat the same process for everybody in another room. The same process, cable from here through the wall, and here, we plug this plate to the switch too again. Okay? So everybody from the faceplate, they are terminated at the back of the patch panel, and this place leads to this port, from this port now to the switch, So everybody is literally now sorry, everybody is literally now connected using the switch. Okay, this is a switch. This is our switch. So this is where we will have our server coded. The server too will be connected to the switch. So that everybody here working here, they can now be able to access the server. Okay, they are now on the network, but you won't see all of this as you won't see cables. You won't be seeing cables around. Okay, this is where you will be managing this environment as a network professional. You'll be the one to be managing this environment, managing what is happening. Okay? Managing what is happening here. Okay, this is the same place where you will have your internet connected. That you will have your internet connected. Let's say this is the internet now. Inside this same data center, we have internet, very small internet modem that everybody is using. So if this person take them to the internet, okay, or let's say internet is internet. Let's call this place internet. Okay, so this particular Mr. A, this particular workstation here, whenever I want to access the internet, it just is already plugged to the wall. It's come here to the patch panel, from the patch panel to the switch, then from the switch to the internet. From there, maybe it's going to Facebook or anywhere. You'll be able to browse, you'll be able to use the internet. Okay, all those cashier in the bank, all those customer service, all their systems is being plugged to the wall like this, link through the wall, through the ceiling. You won't see it. Okay, to the patch panel, from the patch panel to the switch. So from the switch to wherever they want to go. Maybe to the headquarters. Maybe it is the internet that will now take them to the headquarters, take them to wherever they want to go. Then they won't see it. Or they want to quickly chat this person here, quickly want to chat this person. So that means the system will travel like this, travel into the patch panel, from patch panel to the switch, and the switch will now reroute that traffic back to the ports where this person is connected. From there, they can communicate. So the traffic will travel like this, travel like this, travel through the switch, patch panel to the switch will locate the port, then we route back and come back to this person. Okay, don't worry, I will explain how this happens in the switch later, how communication normally takes place, how to design something like this and be able to set it up. Okay, so that is what I wanted to explain about patch panel and these face plates. Thank you for staying to this moment. See you in the next lecture.